All right, and we are rolling. Oh, and by the way, if you're having any trouble understanding me, I apologize for that. I'm having trouble enunciating because I just had some dental work done. Some procedure called a routine cleaning. Apparently one of the side effects is that I can't stop compulsively feeling the inside of my teeth with my tongue because I'm trying to relearn what they feel like without that wall of plaque buildup in there. And I know that plaque buildup is bad for me, but in this strange, ever-changing world, it was a constant that always made me feel reassured. It comforted me like a lantern in the night. Actually, come to think of it, why do we even have gaps in our teeth right here by the base? Why are our teeth narrower at the base than they are at the actual bottom? That seems like a design flaw. They can break off easier, can't they? And they often do. You ever see somebody get a tooth stuck in a corn cob? So then this begets a whole rabbit hole of thinking about all the flaws of the human body, then the flaws of my human body, then debating the ones that I can control and the ones that I can't control. And then the next thing I know, I'm stabbing myself in the thigh trying to squeeze all the fat out, and it's not working. But now I've got a giant gash in one thigh, so I need another giant gash in the other thigh, or they'll be asymmetrical, and I can't live that way. So now there's blood everywhere, and I'm feeling lightheaded, and I pass out, and then I wake up, and I'm naked in a rowboat in some body of water somewhere. And although I can't see land for miles around me, the only other thing in the rowboat is a little piece of paper that says, "I see you," and I don't recommend getting your teeth cleaned. Don't do it. But seriously, some people find going to the dentist terrifying, others find it annoying. At this point, I just find it awkward. Example, I walk in and the first thing I see is the receptionist lady saying, "Oh, hi, Will. We'll be with you in just a second." Okay, well, thanks, receptionist lady, whose name I still don't know, because I only see you twice a year and I don't think about you for 6 months at a time. I mean, she can't remember my name. She's got plenty of patience, right? She has to be looking at a schedule of the names of people who are coming in next, and then cross-referencing those names with what she thinks she remembers the faces of those name bearers looking like. Then she sees me walk in and she's like, "Yup, that looks like Will, I think. I'm going to say that's Will because he's next in line." That's got to be what's going on, right? But then the hygienist pops her head in. "Oh, hi, Will. We'll be with you in just a second. We're just getting a room ready for you, and then we'll get you all nice and brushed up." Okay, you've got to be looking at the schedule too, right? If you're a sustainable dentistry office, you've got to have a lot of patience. You can't remember all of them if you see them twice a year, right? "Oh, by the way, Will, are you still working at that comedy club? Oh, and how's your dog doing? By the way, didn't your birthday just pass?" And it's weird because all throughout my life, one of my biggest anxieties has been that I can't get people to remember I exist. Maybe I was just looking in all the wrong places. But then they get you in the dentist chair and they start inspecting your teeth. And it doesn't matter how pristine your teeth are, they will find 1,001 things wrong with them. And then they always drill you with the same questions where it's like, "Okay, I'm not giving you a snarky answer because I think that's constructive, but because this question is so stupid that's clearly a snarky response is what this calls for." "Will, have you been flossing?" No, I have not been, because I do not, quite frankly, feel qualified to use medieval instruments of torture. Up to and including some evil string that was clearly made by a pissed-off wizard. "Will, have you been drinking soda?" Yes, I have, and I know it's bad for me, and I know that the companies that make it don't give a single damn about my health. But you know what? If we all started living like dentists, we drive a lot of people out of work. People who aren't evil. People who only work for evil corporations because they need to live. And I don't think that's a very humanitarian thing to do. But there's one question they give me that is personal to me, kind of, and it's the one that pisses me off the most. You see, I've got these permanent retainers around the backs of my front teeth, top and bottom, because basically my orthodontist said, "Fuck it, we can't fix your teeth anymore, we're just going to put some metal in there to keep them in place because braces have failed you." That's all well and good, but my orthodontist, bless his soul, used too much glue. And when he first put it in, it looked like there was a literal mountain of plaque in the back of my teeth. And I understand that's what it looked like, but I told the hygienists and the dentist, "No, this is not plaque, this is glue. You can tell because it's rock hard." They did not believe me. They called me a liar, and over the years they have scraped it away, and now it feels like there's a railroad track running across the back of my teeth. And I don't know how they're staying in place. I guess it's a miracle of modern science. Actually, come to think of it, there's one more thing they say that's more widely applicable, not just to me, and it's actually kind of bogus. So tell me if anything sounds wrong with this sentence I keep hearing from them. "So, Will, when you brush your teeth, you're doing it for 2 minutes at a time, right?" 2 minutes at a time. Not 1 minute, not 60 seconds, 2 minutes at a time. Am I crazy, or did it used to be 1 minute? I swear to God Almighty it used to be 1 minute. And so I told them, no, I was raised to believe you brush your teeth for 1 minute or 60 seconds. And I remember, because I heard 1 minute and 60 seconds. And, you know, 2 numbers are easier to remember than 1, so 1 minute, aka 60 seconds. And I don't have time to dig up all the PBS Kids cartoons and the Nick Jr. shows that had characters going to the dentist, and then they find out the dentist isn't that bad of a guy, he just wants your oral health to be good for his own profit, but whatever about that. And then they learn, brush your teeth for a minute or 60 seconds, depending on how they wanted to phrase it. No. They say it's always been 2 minutes. They think I am stupid. They don't even think I'm lying. They think I am stupid for remembering 1 minute or 60 seconds. It wasn't fucking 2 minutes. You know what? I got curious about this, so I asked my parents. I thought they'd say 60 seconds too. Even better. They said 30 seconds. In the 60s and 70s, they were raised with 30 seconds to brush your teeth. 30 seconds to brush all these teeth. That's like a lightning round. We've established it's gone from 30 seconds to a minute to 2 minutes, and they keep doubling the number. I saw a sign on the wall that said, ways to make your kids like brushing their teeth. Make it 4 minutes of fun. 4 freaking... That's a 15th of an hour. If I had 4 extra minutes, I'd have time to floss. So that means in 50 years, it's gone from 30 seconds to a minute to 2 minutes to 4 minutes. And you know what? If we know more about dental health than we did in like 2003 or whenever the last time I heard 60 seconds or a minute was, I can accept that. But I was raised with 60 seconds, so don't tell me I'm a stupid delinquent asshole because I remember 60 seconds. You are blaming me for not obeying a rule that I was not informed was changed. Those are called ex post facto laws. They're against the freaking Constitution. Look it up. But you know what? Enough of this ranting stuff. I don't want to be the ranting, raving, angry guy. That's just what the dentist office does to me. But there's one thing about the dentist office that doesn't make me angry. It doesn't make me angry. It makes me more uncomfortable. Now, I don't know if every dentist office has this, but my childhood dentist office had this. My adulthood dentist office has this. You tell me if this is weird or not. Tooth-themed art all over the walls. Sometimes the art is kind of straightforward. It's just a close-up on a jaw of teeth, and all the teeth have faces and sentience, and they're smiling at you. Smiling with toothy grins. Teeth with teeth. Don't think about that too much. Other times the art is a reimagining of a trope, like a nursery rhyme, like the old woman who lived in a shoe. Except the shoe is a tooth now. And there's a gigantic hole in it that a family of 12 can live inside, and you're supposed to admire it. But there is one painting that I believe it was from my childhood dentist office. I never totally forgot it. It wasn't too strange, but it got me thinking. It was a painting of a tooth, a molar, just one this time, smiling at the audience, big toothy grin, and this tooth was wearing a necklace made out of smaller teeth. Okay, so what I'm about to ask, it's going to sound like an edgy joke, and I guess it is, but it also doubles as a serious question. So, if the tooth is wearing a necklace made out of smaller teeth, does that mean that it's wearing a necklace made out of its species' fetuses? Okay, to be fair, I acknowledge the possibility that maybe we're just supposed to think it's like the tooth's baby teeth, and then we're seeing its grown-up teeth now, and it's just the baby teeth on this one, or maybe it came from a different tooth's mouth. But you know what? The fact that this is unclear at all shows that the artist has failed at their mission. And you know what? That's the real thing about these paintings that bugged me. It wasn't just that they were like fundamentally G-rated body horror. It was that something struck me about that necklace tooth painting. I realized that somebody had to be behind these things. Somebody came up with this idea, and then they spent time and resources bringing this idea into the real world. And now it's a painting hanging in dentist offices across the country and probably around the world. And I think a little longer, and I realize I don't think the artist wanted to make this. And this wasn't like a graphic design image where the person who made it probably knew that most of their work was going to be advertising shill. This was a painting made on a canvas, probably with a palette like this, and the artist probably thought that they were going to be the next Picasso. Ever since I realized that, these paintings just bum me out. Oh, Will, why are your eyes watering? I'm not brushing too hard, am I? No, my eyes are watering because I'm losing my mind, because I'm having an existential crisis, because the painting you're showing me specifically to ease my mind as you drill in my mouth is a manifestation of one person's broken dreams. You might see a kitschy little painting of a tooth brushing itself with a giant oversized toothbrush, but I see somebody crying over a canvas thinking, I could have been the next Degas. And maybe they could have been the next Degas, but we'll never freaking know because they're doing commissions for tooth-themed art for dentist offices. Actually, fuck it, second option. Maybe it's a failed dentist who had a supernatural knack for painting, and here they were doing commissions of the subject that they wanted to excel in their entire lives, but the closest they'll ever get to a tooth is what painting that they have to make themselves. Hey, you see that little like watermark stain thing in the corner? I don't think that's just water. I think that's a teardrop they forgot to digitally edit out when they copy this over to a piece of printing paper. And you know what? I acknowledge that they probably are not completely dejected. They love painting and they got paid to paint for a living. That's cool and all, but I'm just not too sure that the money they made is enough to pay for antidepressants.